270 St. Valentine dies giving birth to Valentine St. Some sources say 269, others 273. 869 Saint Cyril Constantine, Greek Byzantine Christian monk, missionary to the Slavs, scholar, linguist, and namesake of the Cyrillic alphabet, dies at about 42. Birthdate unconfirmed 27. In 1317 Marguerite of France, Queen of Edward I of England b. 1282. King of England 1377-99. Murdered at age 33 at Pontefract Castle. In 1528 Edzard I. Edzard the Great, Count of East Frisia 1494-1528, who waged 3-year war with Saxony, dies at 66. In 1571 Benvenuto Cellini, Italian sculptor, goldsmith and author Perseus, dies at 70. In 1571 Odet de Coligny, French aristocrat, excommunicated Catholic Cardinal of Châtillon, Archbishop of Toulouse 1534-1550, administrator of Beauvais 1535-63, who converted to Calvinism 1561, dies at 53. In 1676 Abraham Bosse, French engraver and artist, dies at about 72. Birthdate uncertain, c. 1604. In 1681 Francesco Nigetti, Italian composer, dies at 77. In 1714 Maria Luisa of Savoy, Queen Consort of Spain to Philip v 1701-14, dies of tuberculosis at 25. In 1737 Charles Talbot, 1st Baron Talbot of Hensol, Lord Chancellor of Great Britain b. 1685. In 1744 John Hadley, English mathematician and inventor octant, dies at 61. In 1760 Francois Colin de Blamont, French composer, dies at 69. British explorer, navigator and cartographer, discovered and explored Australia, Pacific Islands and New Zealand for Britain, killed in a fight with Hawaiians near Kilauea at 50. English jurist Blackstone S. Commentaries, dies at 56. In 1790 Capel Bond, English composer and organist, dies at 59. American lawyer and governor of Delaware and Pennsylvania, dies at 75. In 1820 Charles Ferdinand, Duke of Berry, son of French King Charles X, assassinated by a Bonapartist at 42. In 1820 Cosme Argerich, Argentine physician, and founder of the Medicine School of Buenos Aires, dies at 61. In 1831 Henry Maudsley, English inventor of the metal lathe, dies at 59. In 1841 Anton Sokolsevic, writer and composer from Dubrovnik, dies at 65. In 1845 Joseph Lacanau, French politician and educator, dies at 82. In 1846 Cornelis Felix van Manen, Dutch Minister of Justice 1807-42, dies at 76. In 1857 Johannes Bernardus van Brie, Dutch violinist, composer and conductor, dies at 56. In 1864 William Dyce, Scottish painter and educator, dies at 57. In 1865 Thomas Holliday Hicks, American politician, governor of Maryland during Civil War 1858-62, dies at 66. In 1870 St. John Richardson Liddell, American Civil War Confederate general, dies at 54. In 1873 Charles Samvé Beauvais-Lisberg, Swiss pianist and composer, dies at 51. In 1881 Fernando Wood, New York City Mayor b. 1812. In 1884 Alice Hathaway Lee Roosevelt, first wife of Theodore Roosevelt, dies of Bright disease at 22. In 1885 Jules Vol S, French writer b. 1832. In 1891 Giulio Roberti, Italian composer, dies at 61. American Major General in the Union Army, dies at 71. In 1894 Eugène Charles Catalan, French-Belgian mathematician, worked on continued fractions, descriptive geometry, number theory and combinatorics, dies at 79. In 1901 Edward John Hopkins, English organist and composer, dies at 82. In 1908, Georges Jean Pfeiffer, French composer, dies at 72. In 1916, Petko Todorov, Bulgarian writer Zetmijover, dies at 36. In 1922, Heikki Ritavuori, Finnish lawyer and politician, Minister of the Interior, assassinated at 41. In 1929, Tom Burke, American athlete, Olympic gold 100m, 400m, 1896, dies at 53. In 1937, Erkki Mellarton, Finnish composer, Julamasi, Summer Symphony, Fantasia Apocalyptica, dies at 62. In 1942, Adnan bin Sedi, officer of the Malay Regiment, killed in the defence of Singapore B. 1915. In 1943, David Hilbert, German mathematician, Hilbert's basis, invariant theory, axiomatization of geometry, dies at 81. In 1943, Dora Gerson, German Jewish actress, cabaret singer, and Holocaust victim, Caravan of Death, dies in Auschwitz concentration camp at 43. In 1948, Mordecai Three-Finger Brown, American baseball HOF pitcher, World Series 1907, 08, NL wins leader 1909, MLB ERA leader 1906, Chicago Cubs, dies at 71. In 1949, Yusuf Salman Yusuf, Iraqi Assyrian communist leader B. 1901. In 1950, Eduard Hermann, German linguist Homer, dies at 80. In 1950, Karl Jansky, American engineer, discovered cosmic radio emissions, dies of a heart condition at 44. In 1952, Maurice de Waal, Belgian cyclist B. 1896. In 1955, Charles Cuvelier, French composer of operetta The Naughty Princess, dies at 77. In 1958, Abdul Rab Nishar, veteran leader of Pakistan movement, B. 1899. In 1959, Warren Baby Dodds, American jazz drummer, dies at 60. In 1961, Wallace Clark, British-American stage and screen actor, Penny Serenade, Great Guy, Postal Inspector, Easy Money, dies at 78. In 1965, Dieter Engelbrecht, French composer, conductor and writer, dies at 84. In 1967, James Schneider, American silent film director of Foolish Romance and actor Keystone Cops shorts, dies at 85. In 1967, Sigrun, Secret Alban Rumen, German-American actor, Schultz Life with Luigi, dies at 82. 1969, Charles Kenneth Horne, British radio comedian, Much Binding in the Marsh, Beyond Our Ken, dies of a heart attack at the podium whilst hosting an awards programme at 61. In 1969, Vito Genovese, Italian-American crime syndicate boss, dies at 71. In 1969, Wolf Basel, Polish-born actor, Blue Angel, dies of a heart attack at 72. 1972, Lambertus Bertus van Lier, Dutch composer and conductor, Dyke, dies at 65. In 1974, Stu Dempster, New Zealand cricket batsman, 10 tests, 2 X100s, Wellington CA, Leicestershire CCC, Warwickshire CCC, dies at 70. In 1975, Heinrich Davids Hendrika David, Dutch cabaret artist, Zandvoort by the Sea, dies at 87. In 1975, Julian S. Huxley, English biologist, first Director General of UNESCO, dies at 87. English-American writer Bertie Wooster Novels, dies at 93.